Hi, I'm Malcolm Johnson, and I will make one little announcement here that in January, at Eckerd College, they will have their annual Writers Conference, Writers in Paradise. And it's a rather expensive thing to attend and participate in. But as part of it, they have a series of free readings in the evening times. And those will be held on the campus of Eckerd College. I think most of them are in the Miller Auditorium there. And one of the first two people who are going to be reading there, this will be on a Sunday night, the first Sunday night of the conference there, are Dennis Lehane and Dubus III. Can't think of what his first name is now. He's the son of the father, is famous in novel writing, and he's also novel writing. But so, like I say, those will be free, and there will be poets there on certain nights. They usually have two or three people reading on a particular night, but that should be a real good event for people to go to. Okay, talk about poets. This is Disturbing My Peace. Police helicopter chatters above my house at 2 a.m., breaking the fragile surface of my sleep. I look through my blinds like a reverse peeping Tom to see a spotlight shining down from the sky saying, "Something big is going on here." A squad of officers circle a vehicle while someone is yelling, "I didn't do anything." Painting in darkness. I can't paint in the light. I need the darkness of sleep to paint, when the colors are on a black canvas like fireworks on a night sky, and I can swirl the colors around and let them explode in every direction to create a scene as vivid as my mind until the sun rises and wipes my canvas clean. When will I have to stop? I drive along the road, busy people everywhere. Construction workers, farmers, truck drivers, house painters. Where is the sign saying dead end? When do I stop doing what I've been doing? Will someone take car keys out of my hand? Will they put me in a wheelchair? Then in a bed with rails, and lights flash, and alarms sound, saying dead end. To the guitar player. Pluck your strings softly, guitar player. I'll make up the sad lyrics in my own mind. This is the river. My raft glides down a drainage canal, scattering lizards, frogs, snakes, turtles, gators. My raft meanders down a stream with a rope swing. At the swimming hole where girls splash boys and boys swim underwater to scare the girls. My raft goes into a pond with cottages that tell stories about first love, first fight, first breakup, first of many things. My raft goes down a wide river with endless forms, paddle wheelers, barges, and juke joints. My raft goes down the holy river filled with the spirits of the past. My raft moves swiftly down the churning, foaming river to the waterfall where the long voyage will come to an end. And Middle East America. Belly dancer shimmies around cottage restaurant floor, transporting audience to Marrakesh, Istanbul, ancient Persia. The bachelor party marks end of groom's roaming days with new life commitment. Belly dancer twists and twirls to the rhythmic music, following the ancient script of tempting the men who tip the goddess generously. Not everyone knows the script of the dance. Some only see exotic club dancer, while those who know see ancient culture of women celebrating women. End of the dance brings exuberant vandalism with traditional smashing of plates on hardwood floor. For the soon-to-be husband and wife, a symbol of old life ending and a new life beginning. I've got 1, 2, 3. I got 3 here left. Do you want me to hold these off until after the... Okay.
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Martha, and I brought along this book. It's called Walden on Wheels, and it's kind of a new favorite of mine. I came across it when we did Henry David Thoreau in August, and it caught my eye because of the title. And it's a graduate student who his travels and learning to live simply and pay off his debts, and following Thoreau's theories on things. And it's really interesting. One of the things that he does is he goes to Alaska to work as a camp, fishing camp, tour camp person. He does all kinds of different jobs. But this is an interesting quote from it. It says, "I drove the tourists 12 miles up the road to Wiseman, where there were no outdoor lights or to obstruct the views. Because the aurora would sometimes show itself for only a couple of minutes, the tourists would wait in Jack's cabin where they stayed warm and drank hot cocoa, while I stood outside waiting for it to appear. When it finally appeared, I'd run to the cabin, open the door, and yell for everyone to get out as quick as they could. In all my winter gear, I managed to stay fairly comfortable in the temperatures as cold as -40. I'd lie in the snow looking up at the sky, waiting for the aurora to unfurl. Nowhere had I ever seen a sky so full of stars. From my suburban in Niagara Falls for the first 23 years of my life, I could make out only a few faint tinklings in the smoggy, light-polluted skies. But here, the stars gushed across the clear, clean Arctic sky, a Gulf Stream of light that illuminated the rounded snow caps of the Wiseman cabin roofs, making them look like squat mushrooms. I felt a twinge of anger looking at the stars. It was as if I'd just learned of an inheritance that had been stolen from me. If it wasn't for Alaska, I might have gone my whole life without knowing what a real sky was supposed to look like, which made me wonder, if I'd gone the first quarter of my life without seeing a real sky, what other sensations, what other glories, what other sightings had the foul cloud of civilization hid from my view? We can only miss what we once possessed. We can only feel wronged when we realize something has been stolen from us. We can't miss the million-strong flocks of passenger pigeons that once blackened our skies. We don't really miss the herds of bison that grazed in meadows where our suburbs stand. And few think of dark forests lit up with the bright green eyes of the mammalian lords. Soon the glaciers will go with the clear skies and clean waters, and all the feelings they once stirred. It's the greatest heist of mankind, our inheritance being stolen like this. But how can we care or fight back when we don't even know what has been or being taken from us? So I thought that was a really interesting perspective, and wanted to share that with you. And there's one other thing here. This is during his time in Alaska is where he picks up a copy of Walden by Henry David Thoreau. He says, "When I read Walden, I found myself nodding to each paragraph, jotting notes in the margins, underlying whole pages. Thoreau gave me the words to describe what I'd felt for so long. When he was in his late 20s, Thoreau moved out of Concord, Mass. And into the woods next to Walden Pond, where he and a couple of friends had built a small 10 by 15 foot cabin in which he'd lived by himself for a little over 2 years. In his cabin, he embraced a simple life. He made his own furniture, hoed beans, and chopped wood to heat his home. Years later, he wrote Walden, a book about his experiences, in which he championed the virtues of simplicity and damned the dangling carrots of civilization, the materialism, the riches, the prestige that too commonly led men astray. So I thought that was an interesting, brief description of Walden. And this guy goes on to make a cabin out of a van and lives in it and lives this totally different lifestyle. And I'd recommend it to anybody to read it. You can borrow it if you'd like.